Welcome back, MVP youth and friends, because I know that there's some others that are listening and tuning in as well. This is recap of night two. And so we're just going to jump right in. But make sure, like I said, like, comment, share with a friend, and let's get right into it. So, Brother Batchelor, he talked to us. It was a continuation. Let's recap that for a second. Let there be light. So that was his kind of, I guess, route for the week, if you will. Let there be light. So last night was let. If you haven't checked that out, it's posted. It's ready for you. There is tonight, or was tonight. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Mark chapter 5. He started in Mark chapter 5, which is the story about the possessed man that had all those devils and whatnot. And so he kind of was just talking about going there, Jesus going there to meet that man, that Jesus knew that he was going to be there, that he was going to need him prior to, like, long time before, and so he was just kind of likening it to that. So there's a little Easter egg that we're going to share with you about that, but we'll kind of wait for that until later. But when we were talking about this, one of the things that stuck out to us was what you were saying, Tristan, about what is it? I can't remember. Let there.
Yeah,
Hold on. Yeah.
yeah, it's a late night. But anyway, so
Sorry.
basically,
No sleep.
he was saying that, no matter what you're going through, God was already there before you even got there. No matter what the circumstances, no matter what you may have gone through, you may have felt like no one was there, but God was already working behind the scenes already, and he was already there. So,
That's right.
yeah.
That's right. Already there. Already there. So we kind of just went down that rabbit hole a little bit. And there was this really so we're gonna give you the good parts. I'm sorry. No, they're all good parts, but I guess the moments that stuck out quite a bit more, I would say. It was a great message, just as far as the things that really caught our attention. And I think we're all in agreement. It was this story that Brother Batchelor was talking about. He's pastoring this church in St. Louis, and this lesbian couple comes into their church and kept coming to their church. Like, they were still making it to church every Sunday, Bible studies, just loving on them, keeping them around, like not shunning them, not trying to, hey, you need to straighten up, you need to get, fix yourself, blah, blah. And they said, that was his testimony, that they just kept loving on him, kept, encouraging them in their walk with God, and just had that, whole attitude and approach towards them. And it was amazing. So the story goes, if I can remember it correctly, I don't remember her name. Is it Shayna?
Shayna, I think, yeah.
Shayna or Shayla?
Shayna.
Shayna? I think it was Shayna. Okay, so this, yeah.
One of them.
So she gets to this point where she has missed a couple of services in a row, and Brother Batchelor has the reason why they have this meeting is because it's like the next service or something, and they're having like a big fun weekend, or I don't know, it's a big service. And so he sees her, and he's like, hey, Shayna, how are you doing? Blah, blah. And she's like, oh, I'm not doing really good. It's been doing all right, and I've missed the last two services, and I'm having a tough time, basically, she was alluding to, and eventually comes forth with that she had lost her father. Yep. For at that time, and so she was with family, obviously funeral, that kind of thing. And so she ends up just telling him this story. And oh, that's what it was.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So this the part that we're missing here is when Brother Batchelor, he's preaching about labels
Yep.
at that service where she comes back. And so he was talking about discarding that label of, just
Yep.
your old self, basically, or whatever. And so in that sermon, she's like convicted about this, or no, not convicted, but she was like, there was a confirmation
Confirmation of what happened.
because during that time when she was burying her dad and all that, she share I don't know if she shares a
Well,
story
yeah. Do
or
you remember the label that he put
yeah, so
on her
he
life?
puts this label on her.
Like about
Oh,
her
that's
husband.
what it
Yep.
was. Okay. So,
20 years back.
yeah, 20 years prior, they had Shayna had gotten into a relationship very young, like at 18 or something, and went off, got
Yep. Didn't know.
married.
Yep.
Yeah, didn't know.
Mhm.
No family didn't know. Like
Yeah, the
it was
family
just
didn't know.
like,
She just ran off and then got married.
yeah. So she ends up marrying this guy. Well, of course, it just goes south really fast. He ends up divorcing her. Goes, I guess he gets married to another
Yeah, he
woman.
runs off with another lady.
Yeah, so he runs off with another lady, and so she's kind of left there, and so she goes home to like confide in her family and her father, and her father like just straight up tells her, you're never going to find another man that's
That'll
going to
love
love
you
you like he did. You should go after women.
Yep.
And it was like, boom, like label,
Yep.
bam. And that stuck with her for 20 years. And so she's carrying this label all along. And where this ties in, where we talked about the man that was possessed with the demons.
Yep.
So we're going to pause there for just a sec because we got to tie this up and we'll be done here. But so when Jesus goes to meet the man that's demon possessed,
Yep.
we just said it. There was already a time that he knew it was going to happen.
Mhm.
So he's going there with the intention of setting this man free. That he knew that there was already going to be there.
Mhm.
And so he was ready and just to set that man free. Okay, so the Easter egg, I guess you could say, is that Brother Batchelor talked about how Jesus would have or could have brought him some clothes, because at the end when the man is released from the demons and he's in his right mind, it says that he was sitting and he was clothed. And so he calls back to Adam and Eve, and when they're going through their mess and they're trying to cover themselves up, well, the Lord provides clothes for them. Knew already what was going to happen. And so the I guess the thought process goes that Jesus would have brought extra clothes with him for that moment,
Yep.
for that purpose, knowing that he was going to meet that man there, knowing that he was going to set him free.
Like I said, he was there
Um,
before.
yes, he was there before that person got there.
Mhm.
So, back to Shayna. So, at this service, Pastor Batchelor is just talking about, you're released from your labels. You're
Yep.
you're set free from your labels. You're doing and all this, and it's amazing.
Yep.
And she goes and she basically comes to the altar and just sheds that label that was placed on her all those years ago.
And then she was saying about, I think what's really cool is when she was burying her father, she said she felt the Lord impress in her heart that God is writing a new label in her life. And I thought that was so powerful.
Yes, absolutely. And so that new label, and so the whole idea behind that was that he knew there she was going to shed that label. 20 years prior, 20 years prior, he knew that that moment was coming and was just setting all of that up and orchestrating it so that it could happen at the right moment, at the right time, and getting on that new label. It's amazing.
Yeah.
After this, so she ends up getting filled with the Holy Ghost, gets baptized. From there, her mom, was it?
Yeah, well, first she left her.
Yes, so she
Forever.
goes back
Yeah.
and she's like, I've got to tell, her wife
Yeah.
or whatever at the time, I've got to go back and I've got to tell her,
Pack her
it,
things and go.
you got to get out
Yeah.
because this is life changing.
Yeah.
I'm a new person. This
Yeah.
is completely new, and so people are in her family, I guess, or her mom gets word of this, and so her mom comes to visit for something. I can't remember
she
what
got
it
really
was.
sick, I think.
She
Yeah,
gets
she got really sick.
Yeah. So she gets sick, and she has to visit her mom, or her mom comes down to visit her. That's what it was. Her mom comes down to visit her, and somehow or another, she ends up going to a service,
Yep.
and then her mom is filled with the Holy Ghost
baptized.
and baptized. Amazing. And then, so all this change is happening. So I can't remember what's next.
A little down the road, the girl that she told her to get out of her house ended up going to another church down the road, and then she ended up getting saved, and then she got the Holy Ghost and baptized. So I thought that was really cool too.
Yeah. So just like the whole idea behind that, let there.
Yep.
He knows where your there is. So whether it's your there is, I was abandoned, or I was put in a position where I was labeled as something, as this or that. The Lord knew in there that he was going to deliver you from that and give you a new label and set you in a different path. And so it's really awesome. It was just dude, it was such a powerful service. It really was. And just a lot of kids were praying through, and it was just really good. But anyway, that's really it. It's kind of, that's it. So, but anyway, thank you for tuning in and listening to the recap. If you have questions or you want to comment, maybe something that you feel like a label that you've shed, do that. We'd love to read that and read that testimony. So, but if that's it, then I guess we're gonna sign out. So, all right. Well, we'll see you in night 3. All right. See ya.